My name is Hans Lindetorp, and in this episode I would like to show you how you can build a simple sample player for your smartphone. So we can trigger audio files by touching the screen using WebAudio.xml. So this project in P5.js contains the information about the audio files and how they are connected to the touch on different buttons in the graphical interface. And I won't spend any time on the HTML file that defines all the buttons, but if you're into web technology, have a look there and see what you can do if you would like to add more buttons, for example. But for now, if we focus on the audio. So we need to understand that I have uploaded audio files, and these are short shots of different drum sounds. And you can find such files and download them from lots of places on the internet or produce them with your audio software. Okay, so we have those. And then I have created in this audio XML file the description of the audio application. So it says that we have 3 audio buffer source node objects. It's a weird word, I know, but that is what it's called in Web Audio API. That means that we have a sound, basically. What sound? Well, that is defined by src, as in source. And it says that the sound should be in a folder called audio, and the name should be bd.mp3. So the code will then look into the audio folder and see if it finds the bd.mp3 file, and that's here, so it will work fine. And it will play when I hit the first button because it says start equals button 1. So that's how we connect the touch on the buttons to trigger this object, which is an audio file. Okay, so a few words, and that's exactly the same for button 2 and button 3, playing different files here. The result, if you share it, I use file, share, and send this link for the full screen to your smartphone. Then it pops up here and you can play it without installing anything. So I need to just reload. Okay. I have to practice a little bit to be tight. But anyway, it works. And I think I actually add another sound so you can see how that can work. Let's add a cowbell. So that would then be useful to copy one of the sounds here and say that that should connect to button 4 and it should play the cowbell.mp3 file. Okay, I hit save. So short for that, Control S or save, and then I hit play so I can try it on the computer. There's the cowbell. And the fine thing here is now when it's saved on the cloud, it's just to reload the page on the smartphone and it will work straight away. So that's how you can add more sound to this application. A few words on Web Audio XML. This is the language. It shall always start with that line. It shall always have the audio tag in the beginning. And if you are not familiar with XML, this is a generic language used for many purposes. And in this case, it's used for describing audio. And I have decided a few words that you will learn to use in XML during this tutorial. But it's super important to understand that you cannot fiddle around and change stuff here and delete, but you need to follow the rules for the language. And the rules for the language is that we create elements, and elements has a name. Those are here in pink all the time. They will always have this less than sign to the left of the name of the element, and to the right there will always be a slash and the greater n sign, and those signs together mark that this is an element. It's a single line element. Between the name of the element and this ending, there might be attributes. Look at them as settings for this element. So for this element, we have two settings. We have start, which tells us what button starts this element. And then we have source, src, telling what audio file should play when this element plays. And we will learn lots of different attributes during this tutorial, but this is a good start. It's also worth noting that some elements are more complex. They can contain other elements. And the first one is an example of that. So audio starts here and finishes here on the last line. So that's how we can also have complex elements containing other elements. But most of the elements we're dealing with during this tutorial will be single line elements. So just get used to make more of these. So I would suggest you to copy this element, connect them to new unused buttons, and connect them to play different files like sleigh bells. And if you would like to, you can upload your own audio file to this region, and I would suggest short audio files to make sense for hitting a pad, and just give them a name and refer to it here in the code. Important though, don't use space signs or like non-English characters. They will just make it not work very well at all. So stay with, I would suggest lowercase, even if I had a few uppercases here. Lowercase, underscore, dash is okay. Yes, this horizontal line, and also numbers are okay in file names. All right, have fun.